All right, it's the rundown. Tuesday, March 2nd, brought to you by Truly. Truly Hard Seltzer is back for 2021. We had the big announcement last week, Barstool Classic back this year, and it's once again brought to you by Truly Hard Seltzer. They're one of the first seltzers to go big with Barstool, and they're coming back with us every single year. It's delicious.
I like Truly the best.
It truly is delicious. Yeah, it's better than all the others, and we're going to be drinking Truly all year. It's our favorite hard seltzer. Perfect drink. You're at the bar, you're on the beach, you're on the golf course at the Barstool Classic, whatever you're doing, you'll be just in your apartment really and just still enjoy a nice Truly Hard Seltzer. Make sure you're grabbing some Truly this year too, and look out for more news coming out around the Barstool Classic. We've got Jeff D-Lo, Ben
Just to know, I am wearing the same exact thing I wore the last time I was on the rundown. Top to bottom, shoes, everything.
How long ago was that?
A week. Almost exactly a week.
That's acceptable.
What's funny is I was wearing the exact same thing where I looked at, like Barstool's Trent's twin, because I was wearing the Penn Gaming hoodie, and this beanie looks a lot like the Barstool one he wears, and so I actually took the Penn Gaming hoodie off to not look like
Trent. Okay.
Again, because I looked just like him in the last one.
Yeah, we the three of us have been together for one rundown before. We got Billy Football fact checking today.
Big Cat
did
say no to you.
Yes, Big Cat. He's a busy guy. I think a slow topic today sometimes discourages some people from joining it. But you know what? We rounded up.
He saw his window of like Big Cat gets like 30 seconds of freedom throughout the day, and he was like,
Big Cat gets a little bit of freedom in the corner, and he deserves
it with Tommy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But he does like me.
He does.
Anyway,
he does like Tommy.
Let's run through these topics. We'll make the best of it. Let's start off with San Diego reporter Jeff McAdam. Video of him on Twitter. He's giving a live news report in San Diego, and just a police shootout. 12 shots fired right behind him. Barely even flinches. Just continues on with the report. A true show of professionalism.
Local news reporters, they're just, it's the grind. Like the grind just builds them differently.
That's just some of those true dedication to his job. I mean, you got to respect a man who'll put his life on the line to report the evening news.
That's your ceiling. That's your ceiling as a local news reporter. If you have something like that happen, I mean, you're a local news reporter. You're going to go viral for probably something bad most of the time, like a slip of the tongue that ends up being a racial slur or something like that, or you end up just having a police shootout behind you.
Like the word boob in between two words.
Yeah.
Very juvenile.
Or you have the the sketch of a criminal that looks exactly like you. That happened once. That's a classic one as well.
What's the police officer? What was they said the police? What was the wrong clip? Fuck. God,
which one?
There's a. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. It's worth it.
Can you imagine getting reporting on the news, the shootout breaks out? There's a lot of ways for this whole thing to end. That would be a wild way to go.
That would be a wild way to go, but it'd be worth it.
Guys,
it'd be talked about forever.
He probably had, earpieces in and probably couldn't hear the shots.
No, he turned around and he saw it.
Oh.
He just kept going, and then he did acknowledge it. And the cameraman too deserves some credit. He was able to sort of keep him in frame. We have it going up here.
It was the news reporter who said Dee Mega Doo Doo. It was like Deirdre like Manigat or something. Yeah.
There's what's the guy from Fox News where he just goes, you keep fucking that chicken just out of nowhere. That's a classic one. Ernie something, I forget what his name is. But yeah, no, this is your peak. If you're a local news anchor, you wait your moment. You wait your whole life for a moment like this. And Jeff McAdam delivered.
I'm not doing like the whole like news reporters or heroes thing, which like I respect. Like that, I went to college for it, but like it is a grind. Whether you care or like local news reporters, it's a shitty grind. Small side note, he is in San Diego, so not as much of a grind as like
not Toledo, Ohio.
Being middle of nowhere, like Midwest or Northwest guy.
Hey, he's got a pretty nice pinstripe suit on as well. Yeah. But yeah, good for him. Next up, we got Dr. Seuss getting canceled.
Here's a prickly one.
This is a prickly one. Jeff D-Lo, as you guys learned last week, it was me, Jeff, and Trent. Jeff, it's always one topic Jeff doesn't want to, he feels like he doesn't want to do. We'll lead off with Gaga.
You know the Gaga story?
Someone shot her dog.
Why are we talking about that?
I mean...
What?
Why are we talking about that?
I mean, it's the biggest story of the day. But we don't,
What are we even going to say about that?
This is, it's a tricky one. Dr. Seuss getting canceled. 6 of his books are getting taken out of like educational circulation. It's a tricky topic, but it's like the #1 story right now. You have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Is today
Yeah,
Dr.
today's
Seuss
Dr.
Day?
Seuss.
Oh, that's why
Well,
it had
that
No,
is-
that's why
is
they did
quite a
it.
twist.
That's why they
Oh,
did it.
okay. Yeah, there's some where it's like, all right, maybe this is a little overblown, and there's some where it's like, yeah, you maybe can't have 7-year-olds reading that one. So it is a tough tightrope to walk. It does feel like I think it feels like an Onion headline. It feels like something someone would put out as a joke.
It does.
Like Dr. Seuss is getting canceled. It'd be like, ha ha ha, the guy who wrote Green Eggs and Ham and Cat in the Hat.
Yeah,
is
no,
getting
it's
canceled.
one of
Yeah,
those things.
right.
It's like when like cancel culture became popular. It's like, oh, who's next? Dr. Seuss, but then like,
Right. If you were guessing 10 next people, like there should almost be like, people have death pools. You should have like cancel pools. I don't think Dr. Seuss would have been in many cancel pools.
probably not. No.
I thought, like, I'm a big Ole Miss guy. I thought the Rebels were going to be in the cancel pool.
I'd put money on that in the cancel
I'm
pool.
surprised it hadn't happened yet.
Kind
Actually,
of, sort of like you sort of changed the mascot though, right?
oh yeah, they got away from Colonel Reb like 15 years
Yeah.
ago. They got away from Dixie 15 years ago. I mean, they've taken preemptive strikes. They hadn't been ignorant. of them.
Large
And
was
then-
telling me a Dr. Seuss story before he did it on Twisted History, his podcast, that Dr. Seuss's wife was sick with cancer, and Dr. Seuss started cheating on his wife with his wife's best friend while she was sick with cancer. And his wife was like, I don't want to be a burden on you anymore, and killed herself. And then a year later, Dr. Seuss married the wife's best friend, and then he shipped her kids away to relatives or something because he just hated kids.
Well, he
then-
should have gotten canceled
Yeah,
for all that.
not mad anymore.
Sort of seems
Not
like
mad.
Dr. Seuss is a pile of shit.
If he made it through that, he's probably thinking, I can do anything.
Good. I mean,
Yeah.
his iconic characters he created for sure.
Yeah.
He's one who's always attributed with like fake quotes too, which I always enjoy. Him and Walt Disney are always attributed with like fake quotes they never actually said.
Yeah. Speaking of doctors, we had a doctor showing up to a Zoom court for his traffic ticket, and he shows up in the middle of a surgery. He's got full scrubs on, his mask on, performing surgery on someone. The judge is like, I can't do this right now. We could just pick another date when you're not in the middle of a surgery. Two schools of thought here. Is this a hardo move by the doctor, or is this a flex?
It's a sympathy flex, right?
What do you mean?
He's trying to get like brownie points from the judge, right?
Ooh, I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah,
That's
like
a
that.
good
This
point.
is like, yeah.
Like,
He
don't
must have been
forget.
really, really pissed off about some kind of ticket to not just pay
Yeah.
the fine and do this.
So that's what I was also thinking, is it might be a principle thing where he's like, you're seriously making me go on a Zoom court for I don't know what he did. It's a traffic violation for running a red light or something. When I could be in the middle of surgery. So if it's that move, I don't hate it. But like when you're a doctor, you show off being a doctor at all times.
Yeah, like that's what he's trying. I think he's like maybe he's trying to show off. Like
Yeah.
I take my job seriously, Judge, Your
Right.
Honor.
Yeah. I sort of got the same.
What
vibe
kind of
from him.
traffic court? I mean, was this like a speeding ticket, or was this like a real? Like it seems
all I
very
saw-
overblown if it was a minor violation.
All I saw was traffic tickets.
In-state speeding tickets, you can't mess around with that. That's
Getting
points
have
on
you
a
been
license.
pulled over yet in the Northeast?
Nah,
Have you been pulled over in Jersey? Because Jersey cops are like, they.
You been pulled over in Jersey?
No, I've been in a car with somebody pulled over in Jersey, and Jersey cops I don't really the state troopers are dressed a certain way that makes them look like Mounties. I don't know. It's
Okay.
interesting getting pulled over by Jersey troopers. I don't know.
We're gonna
Just
just cancel
don't
for
get
being
pulled over in Jersey.
anti-cop here today,
Always
Jeff
been-
D'Lo.
Always been told to not speed in Virginia.
Really?
That's like a thing.
Okay.
Don't speed in Virginia.
Have you been pulled
They,
over, Ben?
Just-
speed machines, radar detectors are illegal in Virginia. You can go to jail if you have one in the car.
Oh,
Okay. No, I know when I drove from Pennsylvania to Alabama for a football game, we were told don't speed in Virginia.
Anywhere else, you're good.
Yeah, they were like, just
You're
don't
good
go
to
over the
go,
speed
just
limit in Virginia.
Take it slow in Virginia.
I don't really know what that means, but
last time I got pulled over was when I was working for ESPN Baton Rouge, but I was blatantly, a cop saw me on my phone when I was driving, and he pulled me over and he's like, "Oh, Mitz, I listen to you on the radio all the time. You're still on the hook for this ticket, though." I said, "I don't blame you."
he can't give you that. He has to give you that afterwards.
You know, he says, he goes, "I'm one of your fans." He's like, "But, I mean, you were so blatantly looking at your phone." I was like, "I'm guilty. Give me the damn ticket."
Respectable.
Arizona. Here's another fun fact. In Phoenix, ready for this one?
Yeah.
Fun fact.
I have maybe a more fun fact after you're done with
Phoenix,
this.
you're allowed to go up to 10 over, and they have machines on their like freeways or highways, where they call them there, that if you go over 10 over, you get an electronic ticket.
Oh.
Oh, that must be obviously relatively new.
This was back in 2009 when I visited Arizona
Oh,
State.
wow.
When I visited campus, we were told in our taxi from the airport, like, yeah, you can actually go 10 over.
I'm just imagining an alternate universe where Jeff D'Lo went to Arizona State.
Which I have more
State.
money. Could have.
Yeah.
They're paying a lot of money to go to Penn State.
Could have been in the background of some smoke show videos
Hell yeah.
back in the day.
You know about that.
I've ran my account here and there. But I was going to say, here's a trivia question for you. Only 2 states you can't pump your own gas.
One of them is Jersey.
I know.
actually know the.
Oregon and Jersey.
Yep. Fuck. Yep.
Well done.
I got a buddy.
He's ready
living
to
out
go
in
for
Oregon.
it.
He's
ready to
pretty
go.
confused by it. But I mean, it's a good racket. It creates jobs in the economy.
That's a good point, Ben.
You know.
Second half of the rundown is brought to you by Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete, and it'll match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses, and mattresses great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. The quiz, it did match me with my perfect mattress. I was looking for a new mattress, and I said, you know what, you cannot mess around with mattresses. You need to sleep. It was looking at who was throwing the pot. Hank, it's like you let Hank slide. The delivery and setup was fast and easy, and now I'm falling asleep right away. It's been awesome getting massages. Messages. I knew something was wrong because it said it's been awesome getting massages from so many of you guys who also found Helix Sleep. Getting messages from you guys who have also found Helix mattress for your dreams. Just go to helixsleep.com/rundown, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and two free pillows. That's no joke. 2 free pillows. That's big.
Yeah.
For our listeners.
Pillows are not cheap.
They're not cheap. And these are good pillows, too. Our listeners at Helix Sleep, that's HELIX, sleep.com/rundown, helixsleep.com/rundown for up to $200 off and those 2 free pillows. Nike VP resigns because her son, teenage son, known as West Coast Joe on the market, was using her credit card and her company discount to buy limited edition Nike sneakers, then mark them up for massive price hikes and sell them on the black
This is really fucked up, too. Yeah.
Is it?
She definitely
I feel like
knew.
this could be more common. You know, like I feel like people.
It definitely happens in other.
How much? So the employee discount thing is a problem. But other than that, what did he do? What benefits of his mom working at Nike?
I know
was he using?
that this has to piss people off so much because like I don't do the sneakers app, like I don't buy sneakers and stuff,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
know
either.
how hard it is to get sneakers through Nike, like especially like the ones that people want, and he just kind of got them at free will, and so I mean, that's.
But was
Just,
he getting them
hopping
because
to the front of the line on limited
I
editions.
saw some tweets like they better put these people in like witness protection, like they're people are going
right?
to
No, the sneaker community, they will kill him.
Yeah.
They will kill him.
I have a feeling that he had a special account. That's why he used his mother's credit card.
A special account.
Yeah. With
by using his mom. Yeah, because
that
he was able to use his mom's identity.
and be like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm the VP of Nike. I want it on the drop.
If he's using
Oh, I'm
his
sure.
mom's
I
benefits.
haven't read the whole thing, but I kind of saw snippets. I'd assume that because she works at the company, there's no like he wasn't loading into the sneakers app. Like he just had kind of free will to pick what he wanted.
I bet there's
Well, that
some
would be an
inventory type thing.
I saw he was using bots. They said he was using bots to
Interesting.
somehow get in. Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I mean, clearly, I kind of get shit for my sneakers a lot.
You
but
got very Larry David.
these are Cortezes.
I'm rocking the Brooks Run shoes.
Okay.
With the funny socks, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just never, I'm never going to spend
It's like
that much time and money trying to get the top of the line sneakers. It's not my thing.
I had a
but
kid in elementary school. He wore these slip-on tan shoes, and he got made fun of, and everyone said, "You wear canoe shoes." He got bullied. So
Nice.
yeah.
Classic.
That's just a story from elementary school. Yeah, middle school.
I'm never too much into the sneaker game. I mean, I respect them, but I don't know. I just always spent my money on like concert
I mean, if
tickets
people are
instead.
doing it to sort of make money, I respect it more.
Mm-hmm.
Where if it's like they're trying to make a quick buck and they see it as a business opportunity, that's sort of what people are doing. Like someone do with like NBA Top Shot or whatever.
Yeah, I thought a Top Shot. The first thing I thought.
Yeah,
of
like then it's I got no problem with it. You're trying to make a quick buck, be an entrepreneur.
The added value that these sneakers have just from hype, I don't see any value in. Me
You
personally.
don't see value?
No, I mean they cost like $5 to make in
Right,
overseas.
but they have value, undoubtedly. Like they sell for a lot.
They are going to be ruined in like a year of wearing them. So
I agree. I don't personally
Yeah.
see value, but if other people see value in something,
yeah,
That's
that's my
value.
take.
we got a couple football topics. J.J. Watt, an anonymous former Texans coach, came out, said J.J. Watt is selfish. He only cared about his stats, and he wouldn't want him on his team. This has just got to be Bill O'Brien.
That's absolutely Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I think Bill O'Brien just
OB.
furious at the Texans organization right now and trying to take as many shots as possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know football schematically enough to say that J.J. Watt was using his schemes to, pad his own stats or whatever. It wouldn't completely shock me. Like, people are trying to say, how do you say J.J. Watt's selfish? He raised so much money for hurricane relief. Like, that's just an entirely different thing. Like, you can be a humanitarian and still be selfish on the field and want to.
I mean, when I think of Watt, I always think of the Hard Knocks video where he went out and just.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Take big naps.
No, he was doing. Wasn't he like moving tires?
Yeah.
Like I think of him doing that to like. It
I
was
mean,
like
Big Cat was saying
J.J.
yesterday,
Watt
like
in
he admitted
under the lights.
J.J. Watt admitted that he was trying to be like a Captain America type thing, but this would sort of go against that.
But man, he worked harder than almost anyone. Fought back from so many injuries. He was playing on some pretty rough Texans teams the last couple of years. At this point in his career, I don't really blame him for trying to pad his stats. I think he's given enough to the game.
I think
that
they were saying like
organization
even in his heyday.
I think that's kind of baseless.
Being a D tackle is mostly trying to get sacks and
I'll
make
side
tackles.
with him here.
Side with J.J. Watt.
Yeah. Him doing the Hard Knocks thing was a little. Him doing with like the tires and shit. That was.
Yeah, but I mean,
So I can see he's a showman. He knows what he's doing. I mean, look what he did with his free agency thing. He toyed with people all the time. So like, I wouldn't be like if someone showed me hard evidence that he was doing it for his personal brand, then I would be like, yeah, okay, he's doing it to pad his stats and be a bigger name. I'd believe it. But also, the Texans are so disgruntled right now, and everyone that's been involved with them that like, I don't really side with them.
Their entire fan base has become Arizona fans because DeAndre Hopkins out there too. They're two best players they've had forever. Both went to the desert.
Then we got Dan Campbell, new Lions coach. They were talking about roster decisions with the Lions GM. Dan Campbell said, "A true alpha knows when it's time to concede." That is a great quote.
That is a great quote.
I kind of like this guy. I don't know what he kind of.
I like him a lot.
He got shit on right out of the gates. Like everyone kind of gave him crap.
No, he was like at Miami. He was bad, right? He was an interim coach there, and then
he comes straight out of the New Orleans Sean Payton, Jeff Ireland crew. I got respect for him. Loved what he did in New Orleans, and I think he learned from some of the best there. So I've high hopes.
He had some good quotes, and about eating people alive, like a lot. And I agree with what he's. I mean, also I think he's saying this year, so maybe his mind games, where he's saying like a true alpha knows when it's time to concede, almost as like an underhand, like telling the GM like I'm really being the alpha here, and then in turn hoping the GM will agree with him and give roster decisions back to Dan Campbell.
Okay.
The GM tries to he'd be like, hey, you know what, Dan, you're right. A true alpha does know when to concede. I'm going to concede now, and I'm going to let you make the decisions on this roster. And then, boom, Dan Campbell ends up back with roster decisions.
I feel like he was the interim coach in Miami, I believe. Him being a full-time head coach is already a ton on his plate, though. So I think that might have been part of the comment.
Yeah, and I agree with him in general. Sometimes a true alpha doesn't need to always say that they're the alpha. So it's a quiet, unspoken thing.
I'm rooting for the guy. He's also ripped.
Yeah,
big guy.
Ripped.
I wish him luck with Jared Goff, though. I think that part's gonna be tough.
I'm still a Jared Goff believer.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the lone one. We also have a Rosen believer in this house.
I was a big Josh Rosen.
Yeah, I thought Josh Rosen would be great.
Who was this?
Chuck.
Who was Chuck? I wanted the Giants to draft him. That's the year they drafted Saquon, I believe. I was convinced he was going to be the best in the class.
And he just didn't care.
Yeah, just didn't
give a shit about football.
You can't prepare for someone just not
caring.
That's
got to be the toughest thing to learn when you draft a guy. They just don't care.
The Raiders, Jamarcus Russell changed.
Yeah.
That was so bad when he went to Oakland. They changed the scale of rookie contracts forever after he got like 60-something million.
Got a couple after show topics. Dave today announced DDTG coming out with Buzz, hitting the market on Thursday.
There is a new ETF launching, a new ETF that I'm part of, that I'm putting my face behind, my reputation behind. Everything over the last 20 years, when I stand here and say, I believe in it, I believe in what we're doing, it's another one of those moments. The name of the ETF is Buzz.
I'm going to try to explain this as well as I can, but from my understanding, Buzz is an ETF. So this company, they have an algorithm that tracks the social buzz of the top social media stocks, whether it's Twitter, Wall Street Bets, Reddit, things like meme stocks, basically. The ones that people are all in on. This would have been GameStop, I'm sure. Penn has gotten mentioned on there. And it's an ETF that invests in the top 75 most positively talked about stocks on social media.
When you invest in BUZZ, the money that you're putting in is then redistributed across the top 75 most favorably talked about stocks according to our algorithm.
And Dave is involved in it in some capacity as well. It seems...
His profile picture on Twitter.
Yeah, everybody was wondering what that was. It seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
You're
Very
on
cool.
stocks?
I have the utmost faith in Dave Portnoy. If he thinks it's a great idea,
Yeah, and he said, like,
then it probably is.
I haven't been wrong in 20 years.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't
hasn't.
buy into garbage, so I think
All right, when you think about how many offers Dave probably gets on a daily basis of people being like,
he's got to
do
get
this.
I would love to see the worst offers he gets.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
like
there's got
the
to be
worst
some bad
apps or
ones.
things, because like he's in that realm with like these Shark Tank people now. Where I would actually Eddie should do that. Eddie be like even anonymously, like what are the
Let's
5
read
worst pitches you
Worst
can give
DM pitches, yeah. I
Just
mean, because
the
even
worst
I'm sure
apps.
even we get them a decent amount, and like if we're getting them, just imagine how many.
He's getting
Dave's
100 a day of the worst product, the worst company.
But he believed in this, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna invest
A
in it
year
on Thursday
ago,
as soon as I
next
can.
week, he was ringing that fucking bell right there with money balls.
I should have said, I should have frowned there.
No, that's the end. That's the end. The DMP 500 closed for the day. I'm down about, I think, $250,000.
Yeah,
Just day
March.
trading.
Yeah, we're coming up on the 1-year Corona anniversary.
Yeah, I got
pretty
I got
cool.
fired 1 year ago in a couple days too. We're gonna do some fun stuff with that.
We're gonna that's a positive. We're
Yeah,
looking
we
at it as a
ended up
positive.
Oh yeah, no.
Thank God they fired him.
Oh yeah, no. I hell yeah, man. Couldn't cut it in Bossier.
Yeah. And then also he was so a Twitter poll came out of the Republican 2024 primary contenders. I think Trump, Cruz, DeSantis all up there. Dave Portnoy checking 0%, but
Him and Josh
was-
Hawley at 0%.
Who is Hawley? Everyone kept talking about this guy. Hawley. Girl?
No.
Just a regular old politician.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0%. But Dave said if he will stay in the race and he will run for president as long as he could check in at 1%.
Yeah, 1%. I think he told Eddie that today. I think on
Yeah,
the Next Day Portnoy show. He said 1%.
I mean, it is truly at a point where nothing would be surprising.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to lose by just saying that you're still in the race?
Right, there's
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing whatsoever.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
This is just engagement upon engagement.
Yeah.
Even if he could just say, like, yeah, I at one point polled at 1% to be the U.S. president, that's a bigger accomplishment than a lot
I
of
wonder
people
what his
can
percentage
say.
point is right now. It's like a 0.8, 0.5.
Yeah,
It's
I
not. I
don't
mean, it's
know.
not. It's
You
not.
also gotta
It's
throw
definitely
its
not
political
0.
Polls, Twitter account.
So unnamed, I won't say the book, but an unnamed offshore book had him 250 to 1. I saw to be president.
To be president or
To be
win
president.
the Republican
To be
primary?
president.
Wow.
24.
So you got to figure what that's about 125 to 1 for a primary.
How about being so like he's 0% effort into a presidential campaign, no money, nothing. Imagine being the people within 1% of him right now who have.
Yeah, like Marco
who had-
Rubio's been
like-
running
like-
for president for 20 years. It feels
Yeah.
like he's 1% ahead of Dave.
Like imagine when Rubio first went on the scene, it's like you just show Barstool Sports. You're like, hey, by the way, you think you're gonna be president in 4 years? Like, yeah. It's like, okay, well, in 10 years, you're gonna be polling just above the guy who runs.
You
his
see this guy on
website.
Inside Edition right now in his purple starfish pinning.
Yeah.
He's going to be neck and neck with you for the 2024.
You're gonna be struggling to keep up with him at some point.
Yeah, he's going to be right on your tail. Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty insane. I think that goes without saying. Something to keep an eye on. And wrap up dozen, new episode today. Team Nightmare versus Team Minahan.
Yep.
Are we allowed to say anything yet? Or?
I don't want to spoil it yet. People still think everybody cheats, so that I've given up on that. People think Casey had people feeding her answers in her apartment. Now people think Steve Robinson cheated so much that Kirk retweeted the clip of Steve
Yeah, I
Robinson.
saw that. His
So,
glasses flashing.
Whenever I love all three. Whenever this fucking Cons, Casey, and Fights team comes on, it's just nothing but a nightmare.
I held my hands over my
I'm just telling you what people are saying. The people think I defended you too. People were saying
they
that you.
think she's like wearing an
People
earpiece.
think
I
there's
mean, I
somebody
live-
in Casey's apartment behind the computer feeding her
I
answers.
live by
I mean,
myself.
if she's gonna go through that much effort, she deserves
I
it.
almost yeah, it's like
I legitimately held my hands above my head for the entire hour.
that I know, but people still think that you
I
had
tweeted
answers
at Billy
fed to
today
you.
that I need an upper body coach because I felt like an absolute asshole afterwards. Like I couldn't even move my arms.
Great
What
match,
else can I
though.
do?
Great match though.
Should I show my whole apartment next time?
360 camera.
Yeah, I think we need a 360 view of every.
At one point, I took my laptop and like put it in my lap so you could see I didn't have my phone in my lap.
We saw your setups. Like you
Yeah.
didn't. We know there wasn't anyone feeding you answers, but the internet does not seem to believe.
Next time, I will do a 360
But
degree.
now people
in my-
think Steve Robinson actually cheated.
Well, I want the YouTube breakdown of him because if Kirk
There's
is
a
tweeting
guy
that
who
Steve,
audits the show. He'll audit
Really?
Yeah.
oh yeah, a guy completely separate of Barstool, he audits the show now.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
With YouTube clips?
The
Who
problem
has
is
he done so
people.
far?
So the other thing too is that we do flash up a lot of things on screen and like things move around and windows change where you can see reflections. So like the lighting and stuff like that is never. I don't buy into that as much as other people do because I see it change as we go. It changes on my face. It just
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I would just like to be absolved of cheating allegations because my hands were in the air the entire time.
Yep.
Thank you.
360 camera
tune in,
next time.
Ben, you're in a match tonight.
Yeah, I'm
You-
excited. We got a huge one though.
Big
It's-
Screaming Hawkers,
Yeah,
you,
it'll be
Robbie,
out
and Coley.
tomorrow, right? But we're the new team.
It'll be out Thursday, so we're just filming it early. So yeah, him, Coley,
Facing
Robbie.
off
I
Brandon.
love the bar. Yeah, I love
you
the
got Brandon
Barstool.
50, and you got Fran in their first match with you and Fran.
Yeah, I know,
lived together,
roommates,
right?
yeah, it's
because
gonna be
of
tough. It's gonna
COVID.
be house
Which
divided.
is like one of the crazier things.
It
of
will be
Barstool.
house divided, yeah.
So a house divided. Do you have a separate setup?
I think I'm just gonna. I may just have to stay up here just to
Yeah, it is
avoid.
one of the crazier storylines. I mean, Fran's roommate
People-
moved
yeah.
out because of like COVID stuff. Ben Mintz moving into
Moved
the
in
city.
from Louisiana.
I appreciate
And,
the hospitality.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, she gave you a nice
I'd only
rate.
been here one night of my life, so I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the roommate battle, the battle.
Gonna have to go into different.
You live
rattle
with
and bang.
Fran?
Make sure different rooms, obviously, because the mic feed,
Yeah.
like the feedback pickup on mics.
Yeah, I
but
think I'm gonna stay up here and just. I don't want any of this controversy
Yeah.
whatsoever. But big matchup with the big screaming honks.
You guys feel confident?
We beat them when it was Brandon and PFT, but adding Fran to the team, it's gonna be tough. They're gonna be out for revenge. But we're 2-1. I mean, a win here, we could seriously be contenders.
2-1, and the fans love them.
We're the fan favorite.
They're ranked 10 by the computers, but the fans rank them 6. If you guys win tonight, the fans are going to vote you maybe top 4.
Let's go.
Huge.
Excited.
All right. good
Anytime
luck.
I get a shot at Walker
Good luck
and
to the
anything.
Hawks.
Fans don't love your team. I don't know why.
Well, we had a case of recency bias. I think we were
You
ranked
did.
10th in the. So what? The computers had us 9.
Yeah,
we
the
were ranked
fans had you
11.
11. Yeah.
Right, but it was the day after we had a not great trivia performance. We scored 8 points.
It's just
7
surprising.
points.
Balls is so lovable.
Yeah, I this week I'm going to make a really concerted Kim Jong-un like push to make sure that we get the necessary votes to keep us
It
higher.
works like that.
What? What?
All right. Hey, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I'll run this thing like propaganda. Try to get. But I think we'll rise this week just because we won't be coming off a performance the night
I
before
mean,
in which we.
Yeah,
won.
the big screaming honks funked up the Uptown Balls, man.
Yeah, you did.
Y'all are off the Billy Joel,
Yeah, I
Billy
mean,
Joel
you know,
name,
it-
right?
Like
Yeah,
10
Billy.
questions
He
about Ole
didn't.
Miss,
He didn't realize the Uptown Balls was a Billy Joel reference, and he
I was
did think it
thinking
was
Bruno. I was going Bruno Mars.
I said he funked you up.
We funked up
Yeah.
the Uptown Balls.
Yeah, we've had about 10 different names, but
Uptown
yeah,
Balls.
Good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.